Ace is high. Deuce is low. Call it right, and you will win the dough on the Card Sharks Tournament of Champions. And now here's your host of Card Sharks, Jose Cazares. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. What's going on? Welcome in to the semifinals here on our Card Sharks Season 1 Tournament of Champions. Glad you could be here with us tonight. Last time we wrapped up the quarterfinal rounds by sending Scott Michels and Chris Chambers into our semifinal rounds. So tonight we are down to 4. And tonight we cut the playing field in half once again, as only 2 of our 4 competitors here in the semifinals will face each other on the Season 1 championship game set to take place on our next show. With that said, let's welcome in our first 2 semifinalists. We've got a little bit of a rematch here from earlier in the regular season, because I believe these 2 faced off previously, but we'll go into more detail about that after we introduce them. First up, we've got our number 2 overall seed back with us. He currently sits at a total of $24,250, and he managed to beat Aaron Glenn to get to this point. We welcome back Chris Chambers.
Jose, glad to be back.
And glad to have you back, sir. I will mention that you were actually sick on our last show, but you do sound a little better than you were last week. Glad to hear that you've recovered.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Alright, but believe you actually shut out Aaron, if I'm not mistaken, in the quarterfinals.
Yes, I did.
The luck just ended up being on your side in that matchup. Do you think that good luck will carry over here in the semifinals?
Sure hope so.
As we have seen, those cards can be as mean as ever to our contestants, especially in the tournament.
Yes.
And the quarterfinals was definitely no exception. So I wish you the best of luck here tonight. And your opponent, our number 4 overall seed. He managed to beat Brandon Hinkle to get to this point. We welcome back Chris Rahaman with a total of $49,400 for the season. Well, that's Nels for you, but Chris, or I guess I'll just go ahead and reference you both by your last names just to make this easy. But Rahaman, you had a close battle against Brandon Hinkle in the quarterfinals. I believe you 2 had to go to a tiebreaker to get to decide a winner here, but here you are now. You pulled a good luck edge over Brandon Hinkle. Do you think that luck will carry over here to the semifinals?
I think so.
All right, well, anything and everything can happen, so I wish you the best luck as well. And gentlemen, I wish you both the best luck. We have a rematch here because these 2 actually faced each other at the very beginning of our regular season, actually. The last time these 2 gentlemen faced off was back in Season 1, Episode number 4, where Chris Rahaman was the champion. And Rahaman took the victory on that one. Here now, will Chambers get revenge, or will Rahaman go 2-0? Let's find out here as we get to our game. Now, I'll go ahead and tell you this now, players. The semifinals works the exact same as the quarterfinals with one major difference. If you're the runner-up, you won't get $10,000. You'll instead get $25,000 as a consolation prize. Other than that, it's the same main game as usual. Still no money cards. The first one of you to win 2 rounds out of 3 will move on to the championship game. Excuse me. I still got scars from the quarterfinals. I apologize. But yeah, first one of you to win 2 rounds moves on to the championship game for the chance to be known as the Season 1 champion. Alright, but enough explanation. Let's get right into our game. Chris Chambers, as the higher seed, you'll be playing the red cards, and Rahaman, you'll be playing the blue. First question of the round, of course, goes to Chambers. Alright, let this semifinals begin with this question. Alright, Chambers, we asked 100 third graders. Have you ever had to wait hours for your dad to put together a toy that says easily assembled? How many of those third graders said yes?
Depends on what kind of toy. I would say just before the internet or after the internet.
What was that?
Just before you can Google anything or after Google.
Oh, I don't know. The question doesn't go into that much detail.
I'll say 65.
All right, he says 65 out of 100 would have to wait hours. Rahaman, higher or lower than 65?
The day that happened, my God. Forger rule, after rule, what? I'm gonna say that's a little bit lower.
All right, he says lower than that, and Chris, try to move closer to your mic, because you are sounding very low on our end.
That's fine.
Yeah, I would fix the volume on that end, but anyways. The actual number of third graders who have had to wait hours for their dad to put together a toy that says it could be easily assembled is 72. It is not lower. So much for easily assembled then. Maybe they shouldn't waste that time putting it on the packaging in the first place. But anyways, Chambers, you've got control of the cards first. Let's see your opening base card. You start off with a dirty snowman right out of the gate.
Change it, please.
Of course, you won the question. You have the right to do so. The 8 goes away, and we replace it with another 8. My goodness. Wow.
You're welcome.
Now Nels enters the building.
Hi.
All right, Chambers, call it.
Let's go higher.
Higher than the 8? It's an ace.
Owl.
Lower than the ace, it's a queen.
Owl.
Lower than the queen, it's a 10.
Please.
He's freezing it right there, and just like that, Chambers only needs one card to take the first round of the match. And he also keeps Rahaman away from his cards. Alright, that brings us to our second question of the round, and Rahaman, we are going to you for this one. Okay, this one's pretty interesting. Rahaman, we asked 100 women.
Okay.
Have you ever killed a bug with hairspray? How many of those women said yes, they have killed a bug with hairspray?
Depending on what bug they're killing, I don't even know.
They can still be treated the same, but I digress.
True. 53.
Did you say 63?
53.
53. Alright, pretty much in the middle there. Alright, 53. Chambers, higher or lower than 53?
I think it's gonna be lower. Excuse me.
He says lower than that. Alright, the actual number of women who have ever killed a bug with hairspray is 26. It is lower. I don't know what's in that hairspray to even begin with, to even be considered a pesticide, honestly. And quite frankly, I don't even want to know. Alright, but Chambers, you've got control and you have that 10.
Change it, please.
Alright, changing it, the 10 goes away. And we replace it with a king.
Owl.
To pick up game number 1, lower than the king. It's a 3, he's got it! And Chambers, already initiating his potential revenge tour right here, picks up the first round of the match and up 1-0. If he wins one more, he is through to the final. But Rahaman, of course, you know, you've come back from deficits like this. It's still not over. With that said, let's go ahead and clear the board and get things ready for our second round. Alright, of course, the second round is the same as the first. And the only difference is that the blue player gets the first question in the second round. So Rahaman, we're going to start with you again for this one. Okay, this one's interesting in a good way.
Okay.
Rahaman, we asked 105th graders. Do you know whether the Pope is a man or a woman? How many of those 5th graders know that the Pope is a man?
Very interesting. And I'm going to say about 60.
60 even?
Yes.
He says 60 out of 100 believe 5th graders know that the Pope is a man. Chambers, higher or lower than 60?
Puppeteil.
Says higher than that. Alright, the actual number of 5th graders who know the Pope is a man is 63. It is slightly higher. Oh, very close.
Rahaman, you could have got 3 more, but no.
Nelson, his defense, he doesn't know.
Well, I know, but still.
Alright, well, Chambers, you've got control of the cards once again. Let's see your base card. It's an ace!
Owl.
Lower than the ace. It's a 5.
Tile.
Higher than the 5. Oh no, it's a deuce!
Ouch.
And Chris's good luck unfortunately runs out there. Goes back to the ace, does not make any progress. And Rahaman finally gets to touch his cards as he gets a free chance to play off his base card of a 7.
Higher.
Higher than the 7. It's a jack.
Lower.
Lower than the jack. It's a 3.
Higher, please.
Higher than the 3. Oh no, it's a 2! And you lose all 3 of those cards, go right back to the 7. Nobody, unfortunately, making any progress. And on we go to question number 2, and we are over to Chambers for this one. Okay. Chambers, we asked 109-year-old boys. Very specific. If you dressed exactly as your mom wanted you to, would all the kids at school laugh at you? How many of those 9-year-old boys said yes, they would laugh at them?
Oh boy. Say. Oh boy. 75.
75 out of 100. Alright, Rahaman, higher or lower than 75? I almost said Chambers there.
Uh-huh. Let's face it, there's gonna be some helicopter parents these days that try to do that. I'm gonna say that's a little bit lower, though.
He says lower. Alright, the actual number of 9-year-old boys who, if they dressed exactly as mom wanted them to, all the kids at school would laugh at them, is 52. It is lower. Alright, so Rahaman finally getting control for himself, and you have that 7, sir.
Bye. Get rid of it.
What's
Changing it. The 7 goes away, and we replace it with a 3.
Higher.
Higher than the 3. It's a jack.
Lower.
Lower than the jack. Oh no, it's a king!
Oh.
Again, not making any progress there. And that means Chambers gets a free chance to play off that ace.
Owl.
Lower than the ace, it's a jack.
Owl.
Going on, lower than the jack. It's a deuce.
Tile.
Higher than the 2, it's a 6.
Please.
Freezing it right there, needing only one more card to punch his ticket to the championship game. Oh boy, this all of a sudden is getting interesting. On to our 3rd question, and we are back to Rahaman for this one. Really? This is the next one that came up? Okay. Alright, Rahaman, we asked 100 senior girls. Now, not to be confused with the senior citizens. These are 100 senior girls in high school. Do you like it when a boy kisses you on the first date? How many of those senior girls said yes, they do like it?
Some are pretty desperate these days. Some are pretty desperate for that. I'll say about 61.
61?
Yes.
All right. He says 61 out of 100 do like it. Chambers, higher or lower than 61?
Oh boy. I say lower.
He says lower than that. All right. The actual number of senior girls who do like it when a boy kisses them on the first date is 86. It is not lower.
Ouch.
Well, you gotta understand. I think they're pretty much approaching adulthood at that point. So they honestly would still expect it, but they would still enjoy it at the same time. But I digress. All right, Rahaman, you're in control, and you have that 3.
We're gonna try again with higher.
Higher than the 3. Oh, it's another 3.
Ouch.
Oh my goodness. And unfortunately, Rahaman doesn't make any progress, and that means Chambers gets a free chance to play off the 6.
I hope it's higher.
To move on to the championship game. Higher than the 6. No, it's a 3! And Rahaman catches a big break as Chambers makes no progress. And that now brings us to a very interesting situation here as we are at our 4th and final question, meaning that somebody has got to win on this next play of the cards. The question goes to Chambers. Control more important than ever here. Chambers, here it is. Wow, okay. Chambers, we asked 100 people. If most of the citizens in a town want legalized prostitution, should they get it? How many of those people said yes, they should get it?
Oh boy. I'm gonna say 50.
He is pulling the trap card, going in the middle with 50. Rahaman, higher or lower than 50?
Good job, Chambers.
It's all class.
Well, I'll be quite frank here. Legalizing prostitution, are they out of their mind? I don't get it. I really don't. Because that is pretty dangerous. I'll say lower.
He says lower. Alright, for all-important control of the cards, the actual number of people who, if most of the citizens in a town want legalized prostitution, believe that they should get it, is 71. It is not lower. All right, Chambers, the decision is yours. You have a 6 that you can change. You would have to call this one card correctly. If you don't, we have a tie game. However, of course, you know you have control. You can force Rahaman to play off the 3, but he would need to sweep the board. If he even makes one mistake, you're through to the final. It's your decision, Chambers. What's it going to be?
Chris, you can have it, buddy.
Alrighty.
All right. Rahaman, if you want to keep your hopes of entering the semifinal alive, you're going to have to sweep the board. As mentioned, one mistake, and Chambers is through to the final. Good luck.
Alright. Good luck. Well, if this happens again, good luck in the finals. Chambers, but higher.
Chris.
Here we go. Higher than the 3. It's a 5.
Higher.
Higher than the 5. It's a 7.
Oh, jeez. It's gonna be a low block. Hopefully higher.
You're going higher?
Yes.
Higher than the 7. No, it's a 5. Chambers is through to the final. Congratulations, Chambers. You have once again shut out your competition. With a score of 2-0, you are our first finalist. And we'll be seeing you on our next episode. We're going to wrap things up with both of our players here in just a moment, but first, Rahaman, I think you only got control one time in terms of the toss-up questions, and the cards just weren't the cards just unfortunately did not treat you very well at all.
Jose, he had it twice, I think.
Oh yeah, well either way,
Yeah.
luck was still not on your side though, Rahaman. Did you still have fun with us though?
Oh yeah.
Well, hey, you have definitely made a name for yourself here in this regular season, and you are definitely not leaving out of here empty-handed. As I mentioned, the runner-ups will, for making it this far into the tournament, will get an additional $25,000 to add to their winnings. So, when we add this $25,000 to your season total of $49,400, you leave us this season of Card Sharks with a final total of $74,400. It's not over $100,000, but hey, that's still a lot of money. Enjoy it, and we thank you for playing here on Card Sharks.
Game Chris.
Alright, that is Chris Rahaman, and Chambers, you have done it again, my friend. Another shutout in your tournament game, 2-0. And you are going to be going on to the finals on our next show to take on either Will or Scott.
Ooh.
Both of which could prove to be promising opponents for you. But we will find out who you're going to be facing right after this commercial break, as we will bring in our last two semifinalists to find out who will face off against Chambers on our next episode right after this. So, we'll take a break and we'll be right back with the second game here on our Card Sharks Season 1 Tournament of Champions Semifinals. Welcome back, everybody, to the Card Sharks Semifinals here on the Tournament of Champions. We just sent Chris Chambers on to the final in the Battle of the Chris's, a little bit of a rematch. But now, excuse me, we got the match we've been waiting for here. It's the number 1 overall seed taking on the number 6 seed in our second semifinal match. So let's go ahead and welcome our two competitors here back. First up, our number 1 overall seed. He managed to take down the number 8 seed Lawrence McNeil to get here. He comes in with a total so far of $53,250. Will Medina is back with us once again.
Alright, I gotta be here again. Yay.
Well, you did win your quarterfinal game against Lawrence, so kind of logical. But here you are now. You had some very good luck on the cards in your quarterfinal game. Do you think that luck will carry over here to the semis?
As long as you change your name.
Good. Well, I wish you nothing but the best of luck here tonight. And now let's welcome in your opponent. He pulled off the only upset of the quarterfinals. Our number 6 overall seed. He took down the number 3 overall seed and the biggest winner that we've seen in Card Sharks history, Gianni Pizzi, to get to this point. He comes in with a total of $27,600. We welcome back the Flatbro Kid, Scott Michels. Well, Scott, you are up against a man who undeniably won who had two of the biggest money cards rounds we've ever seen in the regular season. And you were able to beat him. Here you are now. Do you think that luck will carry over here in the semifinals against the top seeded Will?
We'll just have to see if the cards treat me well today.
Well, couldn't have said it better myself, so I wish you both the best luck here. Now, of course, like as we mentioned, we are playing the main game only, no money cards. The only difference is the runner-up gets $25,000 instead of $50,000. Okay, $10,000. Wow, evidently I can't do math. It's been that kind of a night for me, folks. I do apologize. All right. First question of the round goes to the red player. So since Will is the higher seed, he'll be playing the red cards. Scott will be playing the blue. All right, Will, we asked 100 men. Have you ever slapped a woman's face to stop her from getting hysterical?
Well,
How many of those men said yes, they had to? So, folks, he is typing in the Discord chat because he is at he's currently with family right now, so he's not able to speak the entire time. But either way, does that mean Nell's in a Dolly Parton mask? Wow. All right, he says 52. All right, so he says 52 out of 100 have had to slap a woman, just a woman's face just to stop her. Scott, higher or lower than 52?
I'm sorry. I don't feel like dying. Lower.
Okay. Quite the reasoning. All right. The actual number of men who have ever slapped a woman's face to stop her from getting hysterical is 24. It is lower.
Justice is restored at least a little.
Yeah, at least for now. All right, but Scott, you've got to control the cards first. Let's see your opening base card. You have the Dirty Snowman.
Get rid of it.
I didn't even have to ask. All right, the 8 goes away, and we replace it with another 8. Wow.
Well, isn't that great? Higher.
Higher than the 8? Oh, no, it's a 2.
Of course, that's where the deuce is.
Unfortunately, no progress made there. And that means Will gets a free chance to play off his base card of a 7. Wow. Middle of the road cards for both our players here. Alright, gotta keep an eye out in the chat. He says higher. It's a queen. He goes lower. It's a deuce.
Uh-oh.
He says higher than the 2. Oh no, it's another 2.
Wow.
Jeez. Unfortunately, nobody making any progress there. And that brings us to our F off Mark's happy 2-piece meal shit. Love the snarky commentary of this man. Alright, second question of the round, and Scott, we are over to you for this one.
Okay.
This one's interesting, Scott. We asked 100 psychiatrists. Generally, does watching soap opera characters solve their problems help a woman to make the same decisions in real life? How many of those psychiatrists said yes? If you need me to repeat it, I will.
Oh, I got it. That's a weird. I'm gonna say this probably on the lower end. Oh, wait. 66.
You said lower end, and yet you went with a higher number. What's up with that?
Yeah. Women are complicated.
Well, that is true. Alright, he says 66 out of 100. Will higher or lower than 66? Explain Scott's love life. Wow.
Been in a relationship for 3 years, so yeah, okay there.
Alright, he says lower than that. Alright, the actual number of psychiatrists who generally believe that watching soap opera characters solve their problems help a woman to make the same decisions in real life is 29. It is lower.
Wow.
Soap operas I wouldn't think would be a reliable source anyway. Alright, so Will, you got control of the cards, and you have that 7. He says out, he's changing it. The 7 goes away, and we replace it with a king. Going lower than the king. It's a queen. He says lower again. Oh, it's another queen.
Wow.
And again, the pair striking the top seed. Pinning the blame on Mark. Alright, but that does give Scott a free chance to play off that 8.
I'm gonna try higher again.
Higher than the 8. This time it works. It's a 10.
Lower.
He's going for it. Lower than the 10. No, it's a king.
Dang it.
Again, nobody making any progress. Alright, third question of the round. We're back to Will for this one. Will, we asked 100 senior citizens, would you like to be young again? How many of those senior citizens said yes, they would like to be young again? Does that mean Berman can be 35 again? Wow. Well, I mean, I think so. I mean, if you really think about it. Alright, he says 61 out of 100. Scott, higher or lower than 61?
He was right about where I was thinking. I'm gonna go slightly lower.
Says lower than that. The actual number of senior citizens who would like to be young again is
50.
47. It is lower.
Yes!
Alright. Scott, you've got control for yourself and you have that 8.
Please change it.
2 of those 8s have been removed from the deck. We get rid of the 8 and we replace it with a 3.
Good. Higher.
Higher than the 3. It's a 9.
Oh, freeze.
He's playing it safe, freezing at the 9 right there, keeping Will away from his cards. And that puts us at a very interesting situation, heading into our 4th and final question here. Of course, we know this hasn't changed. It's Sun and Death. Somebody still has to win on this final play of the cards. The question goes to Scott. Scott, we asked 100 bachelors.
Okay.
At the end of your most expensive date, did she say yes? How many of those bachelors said yes, she did say yes? Wow, that's confusing.
Goodness, guess that it's asking to go on another date or something like that. I would hope.
Yes, that is the context. Yes.
I would hope that's what most women would do. But there are some people, so haha funny. 69.
Okay then, I'm not gonna question that number. Take that for what it's worth, folks. All right, he says 69. Will, higher or lower than 69? Does Jack in the Box tacos with fries and drink count as an expensive date? Okay. Alright, he says lower. Alright, the actual number of bachelors who at the end of their most expensive date, she said yes to them for another date is
69.
52. It is lower. Alright, Will, the decision is gonna be yours. You have a king. However, you would need to run through the entire board One wrong move, and Scott picks up the first round. But of course, you know, you have control. You can force Scott to play off the 9, which he cannot change. He would have to call these 3 cards correctly. And if he makes a mess up, let me try that again. If he makes a mistake, you take the first round. What do you want to do? Have the fake Usius run his cards pass. All right, Scott.
Okay.
You are going to have to play off that 9. Call these next 3 cards correctly, and you pick up round 1.
Okay. The odds say lower, my gut saying higher. I'm gonna trust my gut and say higher.
His gut's telling him to go against the odds. He's going for it. Higher than the 9. No, it's a 7. Will takes round 1. All right, Will, you made the right decision there. You pick up the first round of this match. You win one more, and you're going to be making your way to the final. All right. But of course, Scott, you know, it's still not over yet. Let's go ahead and clear the board and get things ready for our second round. All right, again, second round, same as the first. Only this time the blue player will get the cards for let me try that again. The blue player will get the question. The first question in the round. Golly, I'm all over the place. Folks, I'm not drunk. Trust me. Alright, Scott, this first question is going to go to you. So, I didn't even know this was possible. Scott, we asked 100 people, should parents have the right to censor books used at school? How many of those people said yes, they should have the right to censor them?
That's a touchy-feely subject. Because it's kind of like, maybe they should just because, you know, they want to control their kids, but at the same time, like, it's an educational setting. Stop it. 28.
Alright, he says 28 out of 100 believe that they should be censored by parents. Will, higher or lower than 28? Repeat the question? Sure. We asked 100 people, should parents have the right to censor books used at school? Scott said 28. Higher or lower? He says higher. Alright, the actual number of people who believe that parents should have the right to censor books used at school is 67. It is higher. Alright, Will, you've got control of the cards first. Let's see your opening base card for this round. It's a 5. Alright, keeping it going higher than the 5. It's an ace. Without hesitating, he says lower. It's a queen. He's thinking, folks. He's going for it lower than the queen. It's a 3.
Oh, shoot.
He says higher. To secure himself the final spot in our championship game. Higher than the 3. It's a jack. Will is through to the final.
Good game, Will.
Congratulations, Will. You have shut out the number 6 seed Scott, and you are going to be facing Chris Chambers in the championship game on our next episode. We will wrap things up here in just a moment, but Scott, I gotta say, I mean, you took down one juggernaut in the quarterfinals in Gianni, but unfortunately this juggernaut here proved to be too much.
Well, he's number 1 for a reason.
Well, hey, that is true, but did you still have fun with us regardless?
Oh yeah, I had fun.
Well, you're definitely not leaving out of here at the end. You still have the $27,600 that you won in the regular season. Plus, since you're the runner-up here in the semifinals, we're going to give you an additional $25,000 in cash. So when we add that up to your previous winnings, you'll leave us here on Card Sharks with a final total of $52,600. We thank you for playing, and we hopefully look forward to having you back next season.
I will be here.
All right, but that is Scott Michels, and, well, my friend, you have proven yourself. I think you've demonstrated why you have been the #1 seed in this tournament. I mean, you shut out, if I remember, both of your opponents to get to this point. But this is going to be a very exciting championship game because it is going to be a battle of our 2 retired champions, the #1 and the #2 seed. When we see you folks next week, Will be battling Chris Chambers for the Season 1 championship title. But that will not be until next time because we are out of time for this semifinal round here on the TOC of Card Sharks. Thank y'all so much for watching and joining us here. But you do not want to miss our next episode. But until that time comes, I'm Jose Cáceres, and we will see you for the Season 1 championship game on Card Sharks. Good night, everybody.